I got a DM in my Instagram
Yeah.
from Ms. Gladys Knight asking me to interview her protege. And we were, yeah, it is awesome, but we had already been friends on Instagram, and I'm like, who? Avery. Avery?
Yeah.
How did that happen? How did you even link up with Gladys?
About
Excuse me, Miss Knight.
Yeah, about 5 years ago, a friend of mine who's a background singer for Miss Gladys, she told me about the auditions. They were going on a 30-city tour with the OJs. It was a national tour. And Gladys was looking for a new sound. She had, some of the same singers for maybe the last 15 to 20 years.
Wow.
And some of them went on to do Broadway and have sang with Michael Jackson and a lot of other incredible artists. But she just wanted to kind of do something new, and I found out about the audition. I had to learn 60 songs before I even knew I had the job. So it was basically you get the job, you got to know the songs. Even if you don't get the job, you still got to know the songs in order to be considered, because the tour was so close to the audition. So I beat out everybody, and I've been there for 5 years. It's been incredible.
Now talk to me a little bit about your career before Miss Gladys. What were you doing musically before then?
Before Gladys, I had never been on a international tour. I'd never traveled the country. I was more so working in the studio as a recording artist, songwriter, demoing songs for other artists, vocal producing, and things of that nature. So it's completely different being on stage, than being in the studio. It's a completely different aesthetic and atmosphere and everything.
That's cool. And was she always as generous with you from the beginning as she is now?
I think that she was skeptical at first.
Okay.
Being new, being the youngest in her company. It's kind of like, what does he know? You know what I'm saying? She definitely was very welcoming and very warm, always pleasant. But she wasn't, about just, it had to be a complete package. It wasn't just about a look or just if you knew a couple songs. You really had to, it's a family. So it just had to be the right vibe. So at first, I think that she was a little standoffish with me, just because to keep it professional,
Right.
And after I won her heart over, she started to open up and just pour more love and more influence and wisdom into me. So
okay. And how did it get to the point where she actually just pushed you out in front?
My friend who told me about the job, again, Gladys was going to the studio to work on a new project, and Alexis, she said, Gladys, you got one of the best songwriters in your camp. And she was like, who? And it was like, Avehre. And so she was like, well, let me see what you got. So she told me I had about a week to get it done. I got it done like in 2 or 3 days. I wrote her 2 songs.
Wow.
Both of them made her album. We won an NAACP Image Award for Best New Album.
Wow.
For that. And it was a gospel project. So it was pretty cool because that was my transition. I grown up in church and doing music all my life in church. I had never, had the opportunity to do it in a big arena for a secular artist, especially a legend.
Right.
So it was really cool to be able to, work with Miss Knight and then still kind of do something for God, and for it to be awarded was crazy. It was incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you travel the world, and then how did you get to the point of touring with Miss Knight to being now a solo artist?
After writing the songs, she, I demoed the songs that I submitted to her because Gladys has such an incredible, lower register. It's easy for a guy to sing some of her songs, depending on the right song. So I demoed the songs, and she actually got a chance to hear me on wax.
Okay.
And after that, that's when she was like, you sound great. Her team was like, we want to develop you. And so I've been really signed to Gladys for almost 2 years now.
So talk to me a little bit about the project that you're working on now.
Oh, man. So this is my first album outside of gospel music. Avehre is a new moniker. It's not my birth name, but it's something that we created. It's a derivative of my middle name, Avery. And Avehre just means Avery is here. I took AVE from Avery, and the HRE from the word here. It just means Avery is here. It's, at my core. So this project has been, something we've been working on for almost 2 years. Gladys is executive producer of it, and I've been working with some incredible producers. I'm talking S1 from Rock Nation. He did Power by Kanye West, Best Thing I Never Had by Beyonce. I'm working with Alan Ritter. He did Work by Rihanna, which is one of the top songs. No New Friends by Drake. Controller by Drake. And then, of course, Dimitri Green, who did the rest of my record. So it's incredible to be new on the scene, but to be treated like royalty, working with top producers, top engineers, have Gladys at the sessions, coaching me. It's been incredible. And this project is called...
Do you pinch yourself sometimes?
Like, I do.
Is this really happening?
I think it's a dream. I feel like I've been living a dream for 5 years. The last 5 years been...
That's so
incredible.
cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So this project is called Reconciliation. And it's just about being reconciled back to love and to God and just to your truth and to who you are. And so all of the songs, are a journey. You know, it could be a relationship, or heartbreak, or what I love about being a songwriter is the stories belong to all of us. You know, sometimes when you hear someone sing a song, you think it's their story.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, being a songwriter, I get to tell other people's stories.
Right.
So my songs are not always about me, but it's just about life and other people that I know, and you know, things that we all can relate to. I think they belong to everybody, these stories.
That's a cool way to think. I like that. I like that. So who inspires you?
You know, my biggest inspiration musically is Ella Fitzgerald. I love jazz. I grew up in classically trained in school and always singing in concert choir and competing and all those things. So to me, jazz takes the most technique.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to be able to do all of these things and keep the time, and it's just really fun. It's the most fun music for me, and so I try to learn a lot of that from Ella. And Ella was actually Gladys's mentor.
Wow.
You know, she tells us these stories all the time of how Ella Fitzgerald used to come to her shows and hear her sing and then coach her and say, that was good, but maybe you should do it like this next time, you know? So that's kind of what I love about, you know, even working with Gladys. It's the same mentorship. But
Things
Ella
kind of
does it
come
for
full
me.
circle. Right?
Yeah.
It was meant to be. It's
It was
divine.
meant to be, man.
So tell everyone out there your social media, how they can follow you, and when the project drops and all that stuff.
Well, I want you guys to follow me. My name is Avehre, Avehere. You can go to iamavehre.com, head over to Instagram, Avehre, Avehere, or Twitter, iamavehre, Facebook, iamavehre. The project is on the way. I don't have a release date yet. Some great things happening, things being restructured. So you know, it's one thing to do it on an indie level, but then when you have people support, you know, it's just awesome. And so we kind of had to stand still a little bit and allow the powers to be to come in and really set it up the right way.
Talk about that a little bit, the difference between indie and the major, because that's a big thing.
Well, you know what? The truth is nowadays indies are becoming the new majors. Look at Chance the Rapper. You know, he's signed to himself and he just won Grammy for streaming. You know? So I think the game is changing. For me, it's all about having the right marketing and distribution set up. But honestly, we did all of the production in-house. You know, I did a lot of the songwriting, probably 90% of the songwriting for this project, all the vocal producing. And we were able to just go in the studio and knock it out. And now the project's done and we just, you know, hand it over and get it beamed up to wherever it needs to go, you know, and hopefully everybody will support it.
That's awesome. Shout out people you want to shout out.
I want to shout out my Gigi, Gladys Knight. She manages me. I sing with her. I love her. Or her husband, which is my other manager, William McDowell. I love you, Grandpa. My mom and dad, my daughter, Bria, I love you. My parents, everybody who's ever supported, everybody who loves music, this is for you. This project is really from my heart to yours. So.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.